In this video, I'm going to be going over a 2005 full-size GM instrument cluster. Now this cluster was rebuilt about 6 years ago, so I'm not expecting to see stepper motor issues or something like that, but I am starting to see a common issue pop up more and more that only happens to the 2005 circuit board revision. There is a weak spot that is starting to pop up more and more, so I want to cover that in this video. I have covered it in the past, but I think this problem deserves another video. And also, I'm going to be giving away a multimeter. Before I forget, thank you, Charles, for coming to my rescue and sending me some more of these needle remover tools. The problem that this cluster is having is the mile per hour and RPM continue to work just fine. The backlighting works. Displays come up, but the trans temp, oil, gas, volt, and engine temp do not work. They are not communicating, they're not registering, and also the little dash under the gear select isn't working, and the some of the check engine lights, some of the dummy lights are stuck on airbag, ABS, and the volt, and there might even be more when it's in the vehicle, I'm not sure. But anyways, this is a data bus communication issue, and the reason why the mile per hour and TAC continue to work is because these signals are not sent through the data bus. They just have their own analog wires coming in. So no, this is not a stepper motor issue, this is a communication issue. All right, before I tear apart this cluster, I just want to take a quick look at the multimeter giveaway. Now this company sent this to me back in April, and I was supposed to give it away then, but life kind of got in the way. I got busy and I haven't been able to post a video since then. So sorry, Ven Labs. I feel bad. I kind of accidentally ghosted you too because your emails have been going in my spam folder. Oops, sorry about that. Anyways, I'm going to follow through. I'm still going to show this and give it away. And I actually hope they forgive me and send me another because I actually really like this meter. And I'm going to tell you why. It just works. There's nothing weird about it. I do like the magnet on the back. So as you can see, I already nuked one of the leads. Oops. I've been using this thing, so it might actually be dirty, and I like it. The magnet on the back is nice for when you're like, say you're under your hood, you're checking your alternator. You can just stick it somewhere and it stays. It doesn't vibrate off when the car's running. It does have a little hook here too for storage, so you can hang it on a wall. And it does have the typical stand too. You know, and that's where the batteries are hiding. Maybe I should tear this down too. I want to look at the inside and the fuses and stuff. I think it has actual real glass fuses in it. But what I noticed right away when I first took this thing out of the box is the dial. It has a very nice, confident click to it, unlike my Unit T, which it might be getting this way because it's got a lot of miles on it. But the dial on this one is a little bit mushier. It doesn't really snap to the setting, where this guy has a nice, confident snap. But like I was saying, it just works. There's no weird gimmicks about it. It's not trying to do something different. It's just a basic multimeter that does exactly what you expect it to do. Plus, it does have some nicer features, like it can read 20 amps for current, whereas a traditional older multimeter like my old Unit T can only do, where is that at? Yeah, 10 amps max. And it does have a setting for millivolts besides volts. It's got all the standard diode check. The diode check is good. It will light an LED, so if you're just checking an LED, diode mode will light it. It's got ohms, continuity, capacitor, frequency, microamps, milliamps, amps. That's your 20 amp setting. And the NCV for checking if an outlet is live. You can just get next to a cord or an outlet and it will alert you. And then it has temperature, and it does come with a temperature probe. Okay, oh yeah, see, there's the glass fuse. I thought I saw some glass fuses in there. Anyways, I'm trying to make this quick because I know you're here for the cluster repair. Here's the temperature probe. This meter is only $30, which is a bargain. And even this shell here is real. It's not just molded in. It's an actual removable rubber protector layer, shell, whatever the heck you want to call it. Should we take it apart real quick? I think we should. Okay, so here's battery contacts, and it looks like this little red compartment here is just where the AAA batteries go up into. It does use 4 AAAs. Here's the board. We can see the banana jacks. Here's the back end of the banana jacks, and yeah, 20 amp user serviceable fuse and a 600 milliamp user serviceable fuse. It's got the blob chip. You know, it's built to a price. I think this is maybe a protection component. Current sense. Yeah, now keep in mind, it is only $29. It's just and it is backlit. Looks good too. LCD is good. It's viewable from different angles. After spending some time with this meter, I have 2 complaints, which one's easily fixable. My first complaint is the meter leads that they come with. Cord feels good, you know, that part's fine. It's a nice flexible wire, but the point, it's not an ultra fine point. It is a little bit sharper than some of the other budget meters I've tested. But I myself, for what I do, being working on surface mount stuff, the ultra fine point is what I like. Although if you're just doing automotive style work, these tips are perfectly fine. My second gripe with this meter, which I think keeps it from being a perfect meter, is continuity. It's the like processed latching style of beep. There's just a small delay, which isn't a big deal unless you needed to do one thing. The slow or laggy continuity can cause troubles if, say, for example, you want to either find a ground pin or look for a shorts on a chip. When you have a fast continuity, you can just quickly drag the lead over the chips and you'll get a quick beep. Now this meter is actually proving me wrong because I didn't think it would be fast enough, but actually I can drag and you hear the beep. That means there's a ground pin right here. So I guess it is faster than I thought. Now here, for example, if I do the drag with my unit T, it appears to be a little bit quicker responsing. Yeah, it also picks up the same ground pin with just as fast as a drag. So I guess I just proved myself wrong. The continuity is fast enough on this meter. The giveaway details will be at the end of the video. Let's move on to the repair. When removing the lens, start at the top, remove those 3 clips, give it a little click. Yeah, and don't be tempted to stick things in there to release the clips. If you just tilt it back, it comes up. So I have already confirmed that yes, there is an issue with the bus communication. We're going to go right after that. Now these use a proprietary chip for their transceiver, the 56585, which is should be this guy right here. Yeah, U15, there's the EEPROM, and this should be the 56585 right here. Okay, so what has happened is the 5658 chip has lost its power source. Its power trace that supplies 12 volts has failed. Probably a rotten via. Doesn't matter, because we're going to be jumpering that whole area. So we're going to use the VenLab and make sure this is in continuity. And I'll confirm by going to the bottom. I'll zoom me in here. You can see what I'm doing. All right. So again, this is the transceiver. Now the bottom left-hand pin should be 12 volt supply. So we should get continuity to the top of the voltage regulator, and we don't. Those two should be tied together. This chip gets the 12 volt supply. There's no continuity. So we're going to run a jumper. The jumper is in place, so I should have communication back with these other gauges. We'll do a quick check. We should get some movement. These should move off of 0 now, and you'll see a quick line of the brindle here, little dash under there when I first turned it on. And yeah, there's the dash, and there the needles are moving. Okay, so it is fixed. The only thing left to do is just some basic checks. I think I may have bumped into this LED. Solder joint. I'm going to fix that LED. And then scour the board here for other issues. Looks like all the other common joints have been reworked. Maybe go over some of those. And there is a little bit of corrosion on the back side here, so this is going to be scrubbed with alcohol and a pad, and then conformal coated so that won't come back. And sometimes these other areas here need just a little bit of scrubbing too. So I will have to finish this up off of camera because the customer is outside of my door wondering what's taking so long. One quick last look at the jumper. I did conformal coat the jumper down so it's not flapping in the breeze. And yeah, I did clean up that little spot of corrosion on the back, conformal coated that. And this cluster should be good to go. And now on to the multimeter giveaway. So as I mentioned earlier, I have been using this multimeter for about 5 months. It wasn't supposed to go that way, but that's the way it went. But in that time, while I have been using it, I never once got annoyed by it. I never had to look at the owner's manual. It just works and does exactly what you expect it to do. There's nothing weird about it. They're not trying to do something different. They just made a basic multimeter that does exactly what it's supposed to do. And I appreciate that. Plus, I do like the little extra, like the magnet in the back and stuff. That is nice for working on automotive stuff. Speaking of automotive stuff, that's how I accidentally nuked one of the tips. One day I was checking the current of a fuel pump, and the next day I was checking the voltage on a battery, and oops, I forgot to switch the lead back from current to volts. It happens. Somehow the meter wasn't damaged. It still measures current. I probably should have blown that fuse. You know what? Maybe the 20 amp. What size fuse is in there? Maybe there isn't a fuse on the 20 amp. Now it's got me thinking. I don't remember what size fuse I just looked at while I had it apart. Anyways, maybe the 20 amp isn't fused because I shorted out a battery. This thing should have gone up in smoke, but it didn't. It survived, it still works, and I didn't blow a fuse. Anyways, What was I saying? The giveaway details. So like normal, you have to be in the lower 50 states. I'm not going to ship this overseas, so you have to be within the United States. It's going to be 100% free. I'm not going to ask you to pay for shipping or anything. So just down below in the comments, if you need it or you want it, just say it. I'm going to randomly pick someone in a couple of days, and I'm going to reply to your comment. And make sure it's me, not some random person. I think YouTube finally has the comment scammers under control, but it's going to be me replying to you, and I'm not going to ask for any money. I'm just going to ship it to you. And also, don't forget to check your notifications. When I reply to your comment, you'll get a notification. Some people have that turned off and have to chase people down. I'm not going to do that. If you don't reply, I'm going to give you a couple of days, but I'm going to move on to the next person if I don't hear from you. So pay attention to if I reply to your comment. That is it. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you all, and have a good one. Yes, there's the fuse sizes. So one fuse was 600 milliamps, the other fuse was 20 amps. So I guess I just got lucky that I didn't pop the fuse when I nuked that tip.